So our next guest is Andrea Scott Brown, who is an award-winning speaker, a #1 international best-selling author, and coach of more than 17 years. She created Audacious Path, the Money Course, and the Personal Power Formula to help entrepreneurs take control of their money so they can also take control of their life and business.
So in addition to being a certified empowerment coach, she also is also an infinite possibilities certified trainer and an ordained metaphysical minister. When entrepreneurs are on their audacious path, they align with their authentic self and their true purpose. How are you today?
Hello. I am great. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you.
Well, thank you for being here.
What is great about my day is being here. I love this show. I love you guys, and I'm excited that we're all talking about money. It's one of those things that people don't usually talk about. And I want to be able to allow people a safe place to be able to talk about something that we use every day, that's in our lives every day, that we use as a tool. And it's important.
So,
I don't want it to be taboo anymore. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So why do people struggle with money these days? And what does that have to do with living on your audacious path?
Well, people struggle with money all the time, right? I look at it as like I said, it's this thing where we're not allowed to talk about it, and it's a hush hush kind of experience. When we put it sort of in the closet and we're not allowed to share what's really going on or ask questions about what's going on, it diminishes our life. It diminishes what we're able to do in this world. And when we're living on our audacious path, we have the tools, we have the finances, we have the ability to be able to choose what we want to do and go make that happen. And so I believe really building a strong financial foundation allows us to live on our audacious path. It allows us to choose what it is that we want to do without this idea of, oh, do I have the money? And so that's kind of where I start when talking with clients who really want to live on their audacious path, because when there are no barriers, then we're able to then go out and execute what our true internal desires are. And I think that's what we're all here to do in this life, in this lifetime.
And I think that's really inspirational and a different way of approaching money. And I love that approach because it brings, I think a lot of us here are on a positive lifestyle, a self-growth, a personal journey that will hopefully continue till the end of our times. And you wrap that into money, right? And I think that's a really powerful message, because if you look at how to make money, there's the Ty Lopez, there's the Grant Cardone, there's all these guys, and they're like hustle, 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 plane, car, house, and it's the messaging out there is, I feel, is not positive like yours. So I really appreciate that.
Well, thank you. I think that having a relationship with money is how I talk about it, is really, really important, and having a positive relationship with money. So I heard a comment earlier about the love of money. Well, I think that when we are actually in relationship and have a love, not like it's the end all be all, but it's a relationship, when we don't have an adversarial relationship with it, then it actually tends to come into our lives. Because if we look at it as the enemy, why would we even want that? Why would we bring it in? Why would we enjoy it? Why would we have an opportunity to use it as a tool, as it's intended to be? So that's the way I look at it.
And I think some of that can be buried too in your subconscious, where you don't even realize it. You're doing the motions, you're going after the money, and then all of a sudden you keep screwing it up. And you don't know why.
Yeah, right. There's the block against it, right? And I talk about our money story a lot, and I start with the money story. When you have them, everybody has their own money story. It's good, bad, or indifferent. it's your story. It's the things that you learned as a child. It's things that you looked at your parents and kind of just absorbed in what they did as you were growing up, or teachers, or it might be a religious organization, all these things, a society. And we're bombarded with ads on a daily basis. This is what helps us look better. This is what the car and the, like you said, the car and the house and the mansion and all of those things, that we're not good enough unless we have those things. But that's just not true. We can look at what we've absorbed as our own money story and then make a decision. Is that what I want to continue to carry with me? Or might I want to do something different? And getting to those items that are in our subconscious, that are really deep and from 0 to 7, we're like sponges. And so whatever was going on in our family life at that period of time is what we carry with us moving forward. And so looking at what have I decided is true, and do I want to continue that? So making those decisions is really important, and having a space where you can look at what that means for you in this moment is crucial to moving forward and getting what it is that you really want in the end.
Yeah, you talk about what we learn before we're 7 years old, and a lot of the things that our parents, grandparents, uncles, aunts have told us through our life becomes programming. And those programming, I look at it two different ways. One, it's that warm fuzzy blanket of familiar, and even if it's bad, it's familiar, and so we put that warm fuzzy blanket on. And the other way to look at it is it's just layers of chains that kind of hold us down, that weight of, and I think everybody has those different things about money and finances, that they learn something that they realize, oh, that's not right. Brian's presentation was so interesting to me, because what I've learned about insurance is not positive. And so to hear Brian's perspective on it, it's like, oh, this is really good stuff. I have so much more to learn.
Yeah, I love how, go ahead.
I was just going to say that's where people start putting their head in the sand.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I wanted to comment on, I love the idea of like, that's your warm blanket. Even if it's a negative experience in our childhood, we hold on to those things because it's what we know. And what we know, even if it's a negative experience, is comforting, because any change is the only constant in our life, right? And change can be hard, even if it's a positive change. So we hold on to things that we know because the unknown is scary. And I always have a sign in my office behind me it says, "Courage, you got this. Love, Andrea." And so I offer that to myself every day, and I offer that to everyone else, that it takes courage to actually look at what is working, what isn't working. It takes courage to get your head out of the sand, to look at your finances. Sometimes, I had my own experience in my life where my head was in the sand, and I turned around and I found out I was $30,000 in debt. I was like, okay, this isn't going to happen anymore. And within a year, I was able to completely get out of debt, and except for my house at the time. And it was a transformational experience. And it was because, working with another person. So at the time I was married. So working with another person, that's a whole nother set of variables involved. But I was able to look at money differently. I was able to then change my relationship with money. I was able to create this path for myself where I have remained out of debt. And it's just such an amazing feeling. And I want everyone to experience that.
How do you find
very
that?
Empowering.
Yeah, it is. How do you get from having your head in the sand to financial freedom?
Well, it's a journey.
It's a big question.
It's a big question. It's definitely a journey. It is and sometimes actually the journey can be short. There are people who the phrase, I make too much money to be this broke. Like, you can actually have enough money to manage your life and your lifestyle and still not be on the path to financial freedom just because of choices that you're making. And so it's really easy to turn that around. It's really easy to say, okay, it's time to get my head out of the sand and make some decisions and put some things into place and systems into place that allow me to actually manage my money the way I choose to, or the way I want to see for my own future. And so so that's one way. And in another way, if you do find yourself that you've got some debt, you've made some choices in the past that you wish maybe you hadn't, or you're in a place where you want to make some changes to better your situation, then it's time to slowly, methodically get out of debt and make those small incremental changes that help you expand and leap to your financial freedom in the future. And then I always like to have people like vision. What does that look like for you? Because it's different for every single person. All of our money is a very personal thing. It's a very personal decisions on a daily basis. I love that a lot of people were saying that they look at their money daily, or at least have a regular schedule to look at their money. And I help people like put their budget in place and to decide, okay, this is what I'm going to spend my money on, and do that in advance so that you're aware of, yes, of course there are going to be changes. Yes, of course there are going to be variables, but allowing yourself to take control of it and to make those decisions so that they support you, not the other way around. And it's a journey. It's a journey. And I love to help people in a safe place, that they're like no judgment about what those places are in the past. So what decisions you've made in the past, those were in the past. And so now we look at the situation as it is today and then create that path to financial freedom. It's pretty cool. And I want to change what a millionaire looks like, because it can be an everyday person like me.
That is beautiful, powerful, and inspirational. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
So you also have a book that you'd like to give away.
I do. I wrote a chapter in this book right here. Jumpstart Your Blank. Everybody has their own chapter about Jumpstart Your Blank, and mine is right here. It is Jumpstart Your Money Relationship. Yay!
That is amazing. I love it. I love the idea of the
book. And if you guys want to enter to win her book, put some love in the chat.
Some love in the chat. Oh my goodness, that is just fantastic.
We'll give them a few minutes, and then we can announce the winner.
That sounds like a plan. So Andrea, thank you so much for joining us again. We really appreciate having you on the show. This has just been wonderful.
Of course, you're welcome.